What's up, guys? Today I just have a quick little video here. I just wanted to answer a question that I've been getting a lot recently, and that is, how do I catch bait off of a pier, or more specifically a Florida Keys Bridge Pier? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So let's get right to it. Pretty much the technique that I use to catch bait fish off of the pier is the Sabiki rig, which all it is, here I'll pull up a picture of it right now, it's just these little flies that are tied on a drop shot rig, and there's about like 4 to 6 on a rig, and there's a whole range of sizes and colors. In my experience, the color doesn't really matter, but I do like a specific size. I like the ones, this brand right here, Marathon Sabikis. They sell them at Walmart. They're pretty cheap. You can grab like a dozen of them for only like 10 bucks, like $1 a pack. I like the size 8 in the Marathon. Each brand is different, I'm sure, but the branch test, so that's what goes from the main line to each of the little flies, that's 10 pound. And then the main test, that's the line that goes up and down the whole rig, that is 17 pounds. That's the perfect size. It's not too big, not too small. Perfect for those little bait fish. And by the way, guys, when I'm talking about bait fish off of these Keys Bridge Piers and all over Florida, that means mojaras. I'll pull up a picture of each of these as I'm saying it. So mojaras, pinfish, pigfish, and grunts. That's the primary. That's usually what you're catching for bait. Sometimes you'll get a threadfin herring or greenback occasionally, and that's normally what you're going to be targeting with the Sabiki rig. Okay, so now more about the technique with the Sabiki rig. So basically how you rig it up is you kind of unfold the package, you just pull out each ends, you tie one end to your main line that already has a swivel rigged up on it, and then the other end you attach a weight to it with the snap swivel. And I like to use a bank sinker. You can see on the screen right now, 1 ounce, 1 to 2 ounce should do you. Don't go less than a 1 ounce though, because you actually want it to be a little heavier, because if you hook up to a bunch of little fish at the same time, they're going to be darting all over the place, so you don't want them to tangle up your rig. So the heavier the bottom weight is, the more inline it'll keep your rig as you're reeling up the little fish, so the less tangled you'll get. But at the same time though, you don't want to go too heavy that you can't feel those little bites. So don't go more than a 3 ounce and no less than a 1 ounce weight is what I'd say. And I prefer a bank sinker, because usually you're going to be fishing around little rocks and pilings and stuff. So don't use those pyramid sinkers. They'll just get caught up in the rocks. And then the sliding sinkers, they usually just kind of slide around the current too much. You kind of want it to be in one spot when you're catching these little baits. So another thing that I personally do is I would like to add these fish bites. Add these fish bites to the rig. I just cut up a little piece with a pair of scissors, and a little tiny piece, and put it on each of the flies. You can just use the flies and kind of jig them around on the bottom, but I prefer to add to it. A lot of guys will tell you to add shrimp. I do not do that, and I'll tell you why. Because you want to save those shrimp you just purchased for however much a dozen. You want to save those for those trophy permit and hogfish, snapper, grouper, all that good stuff that you want to be catching. So just fish those live on the bottom. Keep them alive. Don't chunk them up and waste them to catch bait. I use these fish bites, which are like a couple bucks for a big pack of them. They come in like little strips, or they have like the longer. What are they even called? Let me see. I don't know, just like long strips, and then you cut off little pieces as you go. And another thing with these fish bites, or fish gum, by the way, there's 2 different companies. They're basically the same. There's a lot of different advantages of them. I'll go through here real quick. So some of the things about the fish bites and the fish gum that I would consider advantages: they stay on the hook really well. They're very tough. It's basically all it is like a mesh with this artificial bait stuff around it, and it doesn't smell. It won't. You just put it in a bag. You just put it in your tackle box. It doesn't smell at all. It has like a little smell to it, but it's not like, I don't know, I think it smells like oats or something. Some people will tell you different. It's not like, it doesn't smell like squid or something, or that gulp, Berkeley gulp. It doesn't smell like that. But the fish still eat it. It's very effective. I haven't noticed a difference in my catch ratio at all. It seems to do good for all those species of little bait fish I mentioned, and that's pretty much why I use it. Alright, so you got your fish bites or your fish gum cut up into little pieces. You got it tipped onto the Sabiki rig. You got your 1 to 3 ounce weight on there. And rods and reels. I mean, you can use any rod and reel pretty much for catching bait. You don't need anything special. Nothing too heavy because you want to be able to feel the little bites. So yeah. Okay, so now you're all rigged up, ready to go. So all you need to do is drop it down around structure. You don't want to be on structure because obviously with all those hooks, Sabiki rig is going to be able to snag up really easy. But basically, once you drop it down, just kind of, you can jig it a little bit if you're not getting hits. It should be really quick, almost instantly hits. If it's not, then you want to change spots. I'm usually dropping around pilings, or if the water's clear enough, I can see rocks and stuff. Cast by them, and then just kind of wait a little bit. If you're not getting hit, reel up, re-drop. And it should be pretty quick. You'll be pulling up grunts and all sorts of perfect little bait fish for a grouper and all sorts of stuff, big jacks. So yeah, that's pretty much how I catch bait off of the Keys Bridge Piers. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.